Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Monica Campana Health and Wellness and Nutrition show featuring people helping people. And today we have the wonderful Jill Bucaro, who is going to tell us about herself, her journey, and also what she's doing right now to help people. So, Jill, the floor is yours. Thank you for being here. Tell
Thank you
us.
for thank you for having me. This is awesome opportunity. So I'm Jill Bucaro. I'm an integrative health practitioner, and I help my clients as they take small steps towards health. So I'm big into small steps. I think small steps over time have a huge impact, and it really creates a transformation that I love to watch. So people that I work well with, my clients include people that feel like they've tried everything, people that are overwhelmed with options and they don't know where to start. They want to explore more natural ways of supporting their body. They're still experiencing health issues despite their healthy diet, or they just need an accountability partner. So I tend to work with my clients over time. And I truly believe that better or improved health is available to everyone, regardless of where you're starting. So regardless of where you're starting, you can always get better, feel better, more energy, better sleep, all of that good stuff.
Wonderful. And now, what do you think is the biggest struggle for people who want to live healthier lives?
So I think what I kind of just mentioned is one of the biggest struggles that I see is that there's an overwhelming amount of information out there. You know, hundreds of eating plans and thousands of books, and it's really easy to get confused or to get frustrated and just to not be able to figure out like what's right and what's wrong. And because of all this information, you know, people just they just kind of shut down, right? And I think too, you know, there isn't a diet or lifestyle that works for everyone. And so these people that are, you know, writing podcasts and, you know, these eating plans, I have no doubt that they worked for them and they were successful, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone, right? So I'm sure we've all, you know, tried an eating plan or a, you know, some sort of diet or challenge, you know, with a coworker or a friend or a spouse, and one of you does really well and one of you doesn't, right? And then we start to think like, oh, I didn't do it right. Or, you know, we start putting it back on ourselves, right? Like our integrity, we start questioning, or our ability to commit, or our knowledge, when really it just might not be the right fit. So I think that's one of the biggest struggles, is that there's a lot of information and, you know, we got to kind of sort through to figure out like what's right for us.
Yes, wonderful. Now, walk us through what it's like to work with you.
So it's super fun. The name of my business is Wellness Riot for a reason. Like I think that it should feel really great and really fun to feel good and to be able to do the activities that you want to do and wake up with energy and all of that good stuff. Like I think it should be really great. Um, I do a lot of listening because I ask a lot of questions. So it's definitely a holistic view. I think one of the mistakes we make is that we make it all about the food. And I'm here to tell you that you can eat all the salads and smoothies that you want, but if you're in a toxic relationship or you're not sleeping or you're overscheduled, you know, at best, you might see some improvement in plateau, but most of the times we don't see improvement. So I really look at everything, like what's your home environment? What's your work situation like? Do you have a community? How's your family? Like all of that kind of stuff. In addition to obstacles, barriers. And so I really, really dig and dig and dig. And I think it's, you know, exciting for me, but I think it's also exciting for them. You know, we have a lot of aha moments of like, oh, I never thought of that. Or what, you know, what things connect that we're not really taught to connect, or we're not really taught that, you know, have anything to do with each other. Like, you know, why working long might affect your eating, why lack of sleep, why screen time in the middle of the night might make you, you know, crave those sugar, you know, rich foods. So it's a lot of questions. It's a holistic view, and it's really a partnership. Because while I see my clients, once every couple weeks, they spend the rest of their time with themselves, right? Like doing their own thing. So I really want to set them up for success, in between the times that we see each other, and also want to work with clients that are willing to put in the work, right? They have a vested interest in the results. And then again, taking small steps. That's why I tend to work with my clients over time. So we can kind of attack, one or two things, see how that goes, and then keep adding on, because that's sustainable.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And now, what have you found that helps people stay on track the best?
So there's a few things. One of them, so accountability or community is really helpful. So if you're in like a Facebook group, or you just have a partner or a friend or somebody in your family, I think that really helps people staying on track and communicating like what your goals are, right? And like what your initiatives are and what you're doing, because people will support you if they know what you're doing, right? Like a lot of times we just forget, or we don't want to communicate what we're doing. And then you go over to a friend's house and they have, a spread of, desserts and, we're going to go out drinking. And you're like, oh, shoot, I was trying to avoid that. So just kind of communicating and making that community around you, understand what you're trying to do and support. And then also, I think sometimes we forget our why, right? Like, why do we want to lose weight? Why do we want to go to the gym? Why? And so when we connect with the initial why, and I don't mean like why we want to lose 10 pounds, like, why do you want to lose 10 pounds, right? So keeping your why top of mind can keep you going. I told you to eat anti-inflammatory foods. You might be like, oh, okay. Like there's no connection there, right? There's no why there. But if I told you that by doing that, you might be able to get on the floor and play with your kids or play with your grandkids because your joints don't hurt, that's something that you can connect to. So I think like remembering why you wanted to do this in the first place, and, first identifying the why and then keeping it top of mind.
Yeah, and believing that it will, because sometimes, it's hard when you don't see the results right away. Like you want to see the result right away. We are trained to get, unfortunately, it's I don't know, it's a byproduct of our society today that you want to see results right away. And sometimes, you don't see them after 1 week and you're like, oh, forget it, but you have to believe,
Yes.
and give it some time and have your goals in front of your face every
And
day.
and I also think too, that's a really good point about like how we're very like the 7-day challenge and the 21-day this,
Yeah.
because then you can say like, oh, I lost this many pounds or I made this giant change, like in a short period of time, but that tends to not be sustainable. So when you make small changes over time, it is easy to kind of like look at every day and think to yourself, like, am I even making any progress? So I totally recommend tracking, right? Like start with a list of like all the things that you want to work on, if you want to take measurements. But what I do with my clients is I give them a list, and it's like 4 columns of every issue that I could think of, from headaches to weight loss to acne to you name it, and they check everything that they're experiencing. Then we revisit that in 6 weeks or 3 months, and we make a comparison. And I've never had a client that's not made improvements over
Wow,
time.
that's amazing.
And it really gives you that like visual evidence that you're moving in the right direction, which then leads to motivation to keep going. Because you're right, like when we're making small changes, it's easy to wonder which direction you're going.
Exactly.
And so tracking can be really helpful, because I've had clients often say like, oh my gosh, I forgot I was having headaches. Oh my gosh, that's right, I wasn't even sleeping that well, because it happened over time that it improved. So tracking can be really helpful when you're not sure where you're going.
And how long are your programs? Like the best, I mean, usually it's 2 months, 3 months, the minimum. The length of your programs are between 2 months, 3
It's usually
months.
about 3 months. I do have it's usually about 3 months. I do individual sessions, but I like to work with people over the course of about 3 months, and we see each other every other week. And that gives us time to make some changes. And it's usually a commitment that people are on board with, that time frame.
Wow. Now, look, do you have any tips for the holidays that are approaching and the new year? Can you hear me? Yeah, the connection is kind of strange today.
Yes. So I have a couple. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm checking comments on Facebook. Let's see
You
if
can hear me
anybody.
now. Okay, great.
Yes.
So so there's kind of two parts to this. One is like we have the holidays upon us, and then one is kind of the new year, right? So as far as if you're already on a healthy plan and you kind of want to stick to it, even though the holidays might look different this year than they typically do for us, you know, as far as like big gatherings or traveling, you know, a lot of the tips that I'm going to go over are still applicable, right? So the more communication, the better. Like I mentioned before, you know, having that community, if you're coming to your house, letting them know like, hey, this is what I'm going to serve, or this is what I'm trying to, you know, stick to. Can I bring a dish? You know, and doing that prior to arriving, because at that time there's not really much people can do. So you want to do that ahead of time. And you know, and today, like today's day and age, like there's lots of food sensitivities. People are eating in certain ways. So I think if people can accommodate, they are willing to. So I'd say communication is great. The other one is you can blame somebody. So if you're eating healthy, blame your doctor, blame your health coach, your trainer, your spouse, you know, like, oh, they've got me on this plan, you know, but then you can also follow it up with like how great you feel. Like, yeah, they've got me on this plan, but man, I feel great. I'm, you know, getting up in the morning, I feel like light as air, my GI distress has gone away, whatever it is. So you kind of turn that into like, yes, I have to, but you know, it's been so great. Always be positive and non-judgmental, right? So when you're eating healthy or you're doing something healthy or positive and other people aren't doing that, a lot of times they can look at that like, you know, like, oh my gosh, like now I have to look at myself and like
I should
my
do it
failure,
too. I know.
my failure. And, you know, so it can come out as like, you know, being defensive or poking fun. So I just say like, you know, take it in stride, you know, joke along with them, take a little razzing, and then offer support if they ever decide to make a change, because we all know that can make or break it if you have people on your side supporting you or not. Don't go to events starving. So even if you're going to, you know, a dinner or an
Eat
event where
something a
there's
little bit before.
eat something a little bit before and have a snack so you're not tempted by, you know, all the, you know, treats, or, you know, whether they're, you know, the appetizers or the crackers or the sweets. I have a 10-year-old son and I've always blamed having snacks on him, but the truth is I would bring snacks if it was just me. So I bring snacks everywhere. And I think too, like if you do indulge, that's okay. Have the treat, enjoy it, and then move on, because the worst thing we could do is like indulge and then spend weeks beating ourselves up because we, you know, quote unquote fell off the wagon or we had that treat. So, you know, it is the holidays. I would say like enjoy it, don't go nuts, and then move on. um,
Absolutely.
yeah. And then for the new year, you know, 92% of New Year's resolutions fail. So it's, you know, I know it's like after the holidays, it seems like a good time to restart and refresh, and that's fine. But I'm going to kind of go back to like, you know, not making 50 changes overnight, right? Because that's what we do, right? We go from this, whatever our standard, you know, lifestyle diet was, all of a sudden we're just going to eat, you know, drink juice, or we're just going to have salads, and we're going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I mean, I can think of a sliver of the population where that actually works, you know, and it might work again, like you said, for 7 days or 10 days, but like what happens on day 8 or day 11, right? You go right back to what you were doing and you go right back to how you were feeling. So I think it is a great time. It's a new year. It, you know, people feel that desire to like turn over a new leaf and restart, but just taking it slowly. So those small but impactful changes over time, and they can be so simple. It can be like, I'm going to drink water. I'm just going to try to drink more water. You know, I'm just going to try to add in one veggie a day. You know, like those things have such a big impact. And I think we kind of diminish those. Like it can't be that simple. It can, you know, it really can
We
initially.
overcomplicate things. Yeah, we
We're so
overcomplicate.
good at overcomplicating things.
Yeah. Now, you're doing something special now. You have some special courses that you're offering, or are they going to be tell us about?
Yes, I will. So I'm going to be sharing some goodie information in January, but I helped write some modules for a family nutrition course that will be released in January. So if you follow my Instagram, which is Wellness Riot, or my Facebook page, I will announce when that's going to be available. But it's great for families, great for parents, great if you want to cook affordably, healthfully at home, you know, tips and tricks and recipes and all of that good stuff. And then through January 15th, I'm offering 30% off of my coaching package, which is Small Steps, Big Impact. So we work together for 3 months. And again, you can reach out to me at wellnessriot.com. There's a contact us page. You can message me on any of the social media platforms, and I'll walk you through what that looks like. I always offer a free 30-minute consult because I want to make sure that, you know, they feel comfortable with me and that I'm able to help them. If it's out of my range, I am very transparent about that. I want to
Lost you a little bit there. What happened? I don't know. I lost you there. The last few seconds, I lost you. Yes, that
Okay.
you are you're very transparent, and
Yes.
yes, because sometimes people, you know, they need certain things that are beyond our reach, your reach.
Yeah.
So.
And it doesn't benefit anybody for me to take on a client that I'm not going to be able to help. So I just would encourage everybody to do the free 30-minute consult, you know, just to see if this is a good fit for you. And a lot of times that in itself is just educational, right? Because it's like the questions that I ask and the information that we review can just be a springboard for, you know, them as to where they would like to focus or areas they didn't even know they needed to focus on, right? So it can be informational just at the free consult.
Perfect. And everything is through Zoom, right? You do this through Zoom?
Yes, great question. So I see everybody remotely now. So I can see people anywhere in the country. I mean, really anywhere in the world. We do everything online, and it's still, you know, having Zoom is such a great experience, better than just phone, because we can see each other's, you know, facial expressions. So it's like being in real life, but it just gives me the opportunity to help people like all over the place.
Absolutely. Well, you heard Jill. I think we covered pretty much everything. Oh, you have also like a Facebook group or private groups or
It's
public?
just my page, so is Wellness Riot. So I'll just post little tidbits and, you know, recipes and videos there. And then on Instagram as well. I'm Wellness Riot, RIOT, everywhere.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Jill, it's amazing what you're doing. I really wish you all the best because you know, there are not many people out there helping other people, and we need to help each other to spread the word. And I think all the information is on the post. People can contact you. Take advantage, guys. Take advantage of the 30% off that she's offering, and it sounds amazing. So I hope you know, this is the first time that we'll see you, but it's not going to be the last one. And thank you for being here, and good luck, and we'll see you soon, everyone. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you, Monica.
Ciao, until next time.